You're watching Truth versus Hype. Ever since it was created, the National Advisory Council has had an uneasy equation with the government. Some see it as the UPA's social conscience, others as a group of activists whose often unrealistic suggestions are only tolerated because of Sonia Gandhi's backing. Now, with the removal of 3 of its members, those questions have come to the forefront. Is it a routine administrative exercise, or is it a sign of a newfound assertion by the Prime Minister and his team? Or is it an indication of the growing ideological conflicts within the government? The facts are as follows. The NAC dropped activist Harsh Mandar, the agricultural economist M.S. Swaminathan, and environmentalist Madhav Gadgil. Why aren't you in the NAC anymore?
I don't know, what we've been told is that they just wanted some fresh voices, fresh ideas.
Right. But they've never done this in the past. I mean, this is the first time that they've actually dropped members.
Yeah. Hard to say. I mean, how do I know why changes have happened? But I think it's completely their prerogative and legitimate.
I was surprised because we did not expect that any member would be dropped.
Of the 3, the dropping of Mandar came as the greatest surprise.
I think he was more active and involved with each meeting far more intensively than any one of us. It's true, he worked very hard and very committed.
He was a convener of working groups ranging from food security, land acquisition, urban poverty to minority and Dalit affairs. All his suggestions would have been directed to the Prime Minister's office. The NAC is an unusual entity, headed by Sonia Gandhi, but administratively from the time of its creation, part of the PMO. Could it be that the PMO, now in reboot mode, was fed up of his constant prodding?
Stuck to my mandate as much as I believed in it. And if the government acted on a lot of it, didn't agree with a lot of things. And when they didn't want the advice, that was fine, they've got other people.
But what of the removal of the other relatively low-key members?
I don't think that reading would apply to Dr. Swaminathan and Professor Gadgil. It's not the general pattern.
Saxena suggests in the case of Madhav Gadgil, wider agendas may be at work. Professor Gadgil, who refused to comment, had chaired a panel commissioned by the Environment Ministry which had asked for a ban on mining in this eco-sensitive region.
Madhav was quite vociferous and quite keen on promoting environmental concerns in the Western Ghats, and it is quite likely that the miners and the mining lobby may have been hurt by his recommendations, and they may have been instrumental in getting him out.
Shouldn't you protest, or did you protest?
Well, that is, I do not know how to define protest, but certainly I wrote a letter to Mrs. Gandhi on this issue, and she was kind enough to ring me back, and she also replied to my letter.
But what was the explanation given?
Well, she said that an NSC is a dynamic organization, and we need new blood, and we need new members.
I don't read all these things because as I told you, everybody has the contribution to make in any organization in the government, and from time to time the government will take them, and we cannot see any kind of criticism on any personalities we cannot see.
You deny any pressure, any external pressure to remove someone like Professor Gadgil?
You know, the NAC, the advisory council is being headed by the Honorable UPA chairperson, Madam Gandhi.
Yes.
And she has been sending very good recommendations to the government. We are adopting most of the recommendations, and therefore the functioning is very smooth.
But then
Professor Swaminathan, though, is pragmatic about being dropped.
Well, I was not surprised in the sense the original letter said 2-year term, and I knew there will be some reconstitution because it's a good thing for any advisory committee to have some new blood.
In fact, he says that while he has been a fierce critic of the government's inability to check the agrarian crisis, he's also been frustrated at his own colleagues for not recognizing the importance of agriculture in their debates over food security.
I think that understanding of agricultural issues is not very strong. It's not strong. I won't say not there. It's not strong, and I think that's a very. If agriculture goes wrong, nothing else will go right in this country, and I think that realization has not come.
The fact is that the restructuring of the NAC resists easy analysis. Perhaps a better way of looking at it is to see it less as a clash of personalities and more as the government's growing mistrust with the NAC's worldview.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.